Hey, what's up, everybody? Long time no see. Just want to do a quick video to fill you guys in on where I'm at right now. Again, a lot of messages, a lot of love and support and stuff. And it's been quite vague as to why we had to cancel some shows and take a break on CrowCast, etc. And you guys have been asking what's wrong. So I'm here to kind of communicate with you all. So it's been over 5 weeks now where I've had some trouble with my back. And basically it completely seized up. So when I had an MRI scan, and it shows I fractured my back. Now, that sounds pretty drastic, but don't be alarmed. It's not as bad as it seems or sounds, hence why I haven't said anything. But it's not a bad fracture, it's quite stable. So I just obviously need my rest. And as for some of the rumors, let's put him to bed. I saw someone saying online it was only a matter of time with him. This was nothing to do with any show we've done or any of my antics on stage. Ironically, this was something I did when trying to keep fit off stage. But I'm about 5 weeks in now, so I'm a lot better than where I was on week one. I could barely walk. I'm walking like a human being again. So yeah, it's all great. Thank you so much to everybody that sent direct messages, and I've seen the love and support from you, Crowfamily, on the fan page. You guys are immense. Thank you so much. So being positive and moving forward, we have our upcoming shows with the Mighty Thunder and Ugly Kid Joe at the Motor Point in Cardiff at the end of this month, along with our main stage performance at Download coming in June. We will be there, no doubt. And as for CrowCast, it will be back very, very soon. That we promise. But until then, we've knocked up some classic best bits of some of our favorite past CrowCast episodes to keep you entertained until us crows are all back where we belong on screen, interacting live with our Crow family. Thank you, guys. Stay safe. Look after each other. Enjoy, and we'll see you soon.
To tell you what happened the night I was supposed to meet Tom Jones.
Yes.
Tom Jones was my hero when I was a kid, when I was 4 or 5, and it was when he was making the comeback, and it was the guy. He's the bass player in Blondie, was working at a record company in LA, and I wrote this song called "How Long," which he recorded. So we were living in Ireland. We were living in Dublin, and we had like 3 houses in Dublin. And I was due to go and meet Tom Jones, my hero, right? Before the show, because Tom leaves after the gig. And then I get a phone call from Guy Griffin. And he says, Spike, he says, you know them Frey Bentos or Time Brand steak kitty pies? Are you supposed to take the lid off? And I heard in the background, boom! And then I had to go over. So that is the reason I never met Tom Jones. All through a fucking pie.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was good. Good day, about the result. He told me a cool story earlier, which I didn't know, about the guy who ran on the pitch.
Yeah. I
didn't know that.
Yeah, there was an All Black. He jumped off the side as the All Blacks were coming up. He jumped out into that queue and stood at the queue while they were doing the anthems.
He literally casually walked up, though, didn't he? Like, just so casual.
Yeah. Number 69. And I remember, and then the 2 stewards like taking him away. And I said to the boys, then, did anybody see that? Like, and nobody see there. But I was like, somebody just rocked up, like he's not with us. You could just see pointing at him, like he's not with us. The All Blacks were. He's not with
I
us.
found a video on Twitter of him leaving the stands. He took his tracksuit off, had this All Blacks kit, and just walked down the steps and just jumped over just walked up.
Yeah.
Bloody incredible.
Started doing the whacker, like
literally. It's like, look at that idiot.
Dave, the hacker.
Whatever. How long were you in the band before you went and recorded your first album with them?
It's a short time. It's 5 and a bit years that I was with the band, and 2 tours, and we did X Factor Virtual 11, and we did a special song Virus for Best of the Beast. I'm on Visions of the Beast. I think 6 of my performances are on the DVD Visions of the Beast, which is a few more than somebody else. So I think, you know what I'm saying. So that was it, and it's obviously it's a huge thing. And because Maiden are a big, important band, not just in metal, Maiden are an important band in the history of popular music. That's what people forget. That is one of the things. It's a British band that has produced quality. So, so much quality music and material. And they've been going, it might not be the band that sold the most albums, but it's the band that's been going the longest producing quality. And that is important in popular music. And they're not just an important heavy metal band. They're an important band in popular music. They were on those first couple of albums, and when they supported Kiss and supported Judas Priest. Right now, when they're doing stadiums of their own and having a Spitfire on the stage. A Spitfire on the stage. Man, it's a factory war. It's brilliant. And look how long they've been going. They've been like, we'll have a picture of a Spitfire on the back wall. We'll have No, they've got an actual Spitfire. And the singer, get this, the singer of Iron Maiden is dressed up like a pilot, and he is a pilot that can fly a plane. Amazing. It's amazing. Wow. And that's the last tour. That's the last tour that they did. They've been going years. They've been going years, man. And then that's what they're coming up with. I don't know whose idea that was. It's absolutely brilliant. Like a monster. It's just fantastic. It's fantastic.
I know. So, like, literally, we would do a tour, do a drum peel session, but we'd base it around, when he had time off college, and then we would go back and, it was crazy, but we were so caught up in it. It's what we wanted to do that we just went with it, and things like I remember you were saying about the staying on people's floor thing that we did. We did a gig in Cork one night, and I'll never forget this. I mean, you met all types of people, but I remember there was a guy let us stay in his house, and he lived with 2 or 3 bikers, and we sort of got back to that. And the thing about when you do that is that you're kind of, if that person that lives in that house wants to stay up in the 6 in the morning doing speed, you're going to be staying up with them because there's no way you're going to sleep. And one of the things I'll never forget was, they had no food in the house, and they said, "Would you like something to eat?" And a girl that was living in the house brought out a loaf of bread and a tub of margarine and said, "Oh, I don't have any knives and forks." So she put her hand in the tub and buttered everyone's bread with her fingers and handed it around. And of course, like, we were really polite, so we didn't want to say no. we're just sitting there eating these bits of, like, God knows what's in it, and all around us were these bikers all out of their mind in speed, and we didn't sleep a wink. In fact, I think Michael, the bass player, the next day was so knackered that he drank a bottle of cough medicine after sound check to try and get some sleep.
Right? The way I see it, right? The way I am, I would be looking back and thinking, God, look what I achieved. That's incredible. And I give that up, damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, is loads of regrets, but I didn't realize. Like, I think regrets is weird. Like, just because Robbie Williams wrote a song about it doesn't mean you can easily identify it. Regrets, they can just hide it. Like, you know what I mean? They can. Honestly, everyone listens to that Robbie Williams song and they think, I'll keep an eye out for those regrets because Robbie Williams did a song about it. If I see a regret, I'll have a word with it and I'll sort myself out. But they're hard to spot. Like, they're hard to spot. They hide.
Yeah.
Like, Robbie, I don't think he wrote all those lyrics himself. I think someone helped him out there because I don't think he could spot the regret that easy. I've struggled. They're hard. He had some co-writers, some experts in regret.
Oh, but you're killing me, man. I'm crying. When we done Scotland.
Yes, man. But
Inverness.
We did Monster Fest, yeah.
Yeah. I remember I was sitting by you then, Shane, when you were fine on the plane. It's when we were taking off and on the way down. You were just looking at me going,
Yeah, see, Shane, you're saying this well past your bedtime. Everybody's saying that you're on form tonight.
It's called fucking delirium's kicked in.
I love the way he talks and goes, hi. He looks to the side as he's talking. Hi, look, fucking delirium kicks in.
Everyone just talk to Shane and talk to Shane.
I'm trying to work it out. It's this way. Hang on, go on, Shane.
Look up, Lloyd. What were you saying, Shane?
Oh, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Definitely hear that influence with you now. Now you've just said that. That's
for sure, like, because it's all like just the fun. Yeah, it's all like, just
the face.
If you don't have a stink face, and if your head's not bobbing, you know what I mean. Then I need to write a different song. I feel like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely, Ruth. I mean, you put it beautifully yesterday in the text and stuff and the voice message. But that one, there's another song. You Road and Toad. Was it Road and Toad? Ah, I tell you what.
Well, that was because there was. I think I was a bit younger, and I just thought it would be hilarious to rhyme road and toad, and so it went something like, "I was walking down the street when who should I meet? You. I was walking down the road, I saw a toad like you. Why did you want to hurt me? Why did you want to go far away? You could have stayed." Why would you stay? Why would you stay with that person?
The other band, etc. And obviously we know some of the boys and stuff, so it was all like hush. We knew like the auditions. How was that? But just the knowing that you were going for the job and everything.
Well, yeah, obviously when I had the phone call and they were obviously said, we're looking for a new bass player. Do you fancy auditioning? I was like, well, yeah, let's do it. So I learned three songs. It was Waking the Demon, Raising Hell, and Your Betrayal. And I didn't even have a bass guitar. I couldn't even. Do you know what I mean? I didn't even know if I could pull it off. Like, do you know what I mean? So I asked my mate. He had a bass. I was like, look, I don't even think I told him. Oh no, you must have known because he recorded. I said, look, I'm auditioning for Bullet. I've got a bass guitar and can you record me? As professional as you can, so I can send them a video. And I think it's like I don't know what bass it was, like a 200-pound bass. I chucked it on, started singing the songs. I sent them the video, and they were like, "Yeah, come down to London and let's have a jam." And so I went down, and I was excited more than anything. Do you know what I mean? I didn't put no pressure on myself. It was just like, this is awesome. Like, I've been a fan of Bullet for years. Obviously, I've known Padge. And I just thought this is cool, and I think I just took that into the audition as well. And I don't know, when we was playing, it just felt like if I'd been in the band, do you know what I mean? For years, like, do you know what I mean? Because it was just like, it just clicked, like, and and that was it then. And obviously got the call, and they said, yeah, you're in.
Do you know what I want about, Dave?
Yeah. So, was it polar bears are left-handed? Dolphins are right-handed. Almost always. Polar bear left, dolphin right. Polar bear left, dolphin right. Polar bear left, dolphin right.
I don't know why.
So the 90-second rule, right? Now this is interesting, right? So if any musician is listening to this and is going to take anything from this shenanigans, whatever this is we're doing, right? Just talking shit. If anyone's going to take anything from this, I'm going to tell you this is going to be really helpful, okay? And it's the 90-second rule. When I was at Kerrang, we used to have playlists meetings, and a lot of people don't realize that radio stations have playlists, you know, A list, B list, C list, and the DJs cannot deviate from the list. You get a running order and you follow your list. There's no choice. You don't sit there and go through a record box and choose what you want to play. Very rare that any DJ gets any free choice. Okay, so like Wyatt on Planet Rock, he has an hour and he plays new rock, but that's the only show really. He can't choose any other music on his show. Same with, you know, Paul Anthony, we've talked about Darren, you know, they've all got a playlist. And so, and that goes for every radio station in the country, be it Heart or Radio X or Radio 1, Radio 2, all of that. So anyway, Kerrang had their playlist meetings on Wednesdays, and the head of music would go into the meeting with a team, a playlist team. You know, some of the DJs were allowed to go, some salespeople were allowed to go and choose because they liked, you know, little demographic, you know, they wanted a widespread. The receptionist would sometimes go in, I'd sometimes go in, and the head of music, Loz, would go in, and they'd have a pile of CDs. This was when we had CDs, because it was, you know, early 2000, and it you know, we'd have a pile like maybe 15, 20 CDs, and we'd put each CD in the CD player for 1 minute 30. That was it, 90 seconds. You press play, and as soon as it hit 1 minute 30 on the timer, it would get ejected. So we'd only ever be able to hear the song for 1 minute 30. And then the CD got placed on the table. And at the end of going through the 20, we'd heard 1 minute 30, and that was all. Didn't matter if they hadn't reached their chorus by that point. If they hadn't reached the chorus, we hadn't got excited. Tough shit. So anyway, we then had to choose out of those 20 on the table. We had to go and put our hand on the song that we liked most. We'd have to try and remember it, of course, because there's 20. It's quite difficult. I was a bit younger then, so it was all right. And then the one that had the most hands on it, because we'd all have to physically put our hands on the CD, on the song that we like best. And bearing in mind, I've only heard 1 minute half. And the one that had the most hands on it made it onto the playlist. And if it was a sort of toss-up, if you know, like 10 people had gone for the new Green Day record and 11 had gone for the new Foo Fighters record, you know, that they might have to put Green Day and Foo Fighters on that week. But anyway, my point being, it made me think, you know what, and I asked the guys at Kerrang, why was it 1 minute 30? And they said, well, we just thought that, you know, if we hadn't got into a song by that time, the listeners listening wouldn't have got into it. So, and a lot of musicians that I've spoken to about the 1 minute 30 thing, they're like, wow, is it that long? Because I thought we had to really, you know, make an impression in the first 10 seconds. I was like, well, you know, these days, of course it is. But this is, you know, 10, 15 years ago. But my whole point being 90 seconds. If you can't get your intro done, your first verse, your chorus, and into your second verse by 1 minute 30, you can go, I was going to say, fuck yourself there. Better not swear. We won't swear. You might as well not bother, right? If you're trying to get radio airplay and you're still pissing about at 1 minute and you haven't even started singing yet, don't bother sending it to radio. There's no point. We haven't got time for that. People, you know, I think you really should be getting everything away in 60 seconds. Get in there as quickly as you can. And so getting back to my point about those damn crows, I studied. So I've studied all of the songs on the first album, of course, Murder and the Motive. And I've gone through them all. COVID, I've gone through all of them. And right, here we go. Don't Give a Damn. Chorus, 43 seconds. Blink of an Eye, 53. Someone Someday, 101. That's all right, though. Rock and Roll Ain't Dead, 1 minute. Behind These Walls, 57. Say It. Now that was a double verse. So that, we had to let that one off. Chorus came in at 126. But it's all right because we had I'm not being funny, but I would have brought that up with you. All right.
Still, I got a story about that. I will come back to that one now.
Good. I want to hear that story. 7 days, 45 seconds. The Fighter, 55. Breakaway, 33. Fear of the Break. Right. It goes on. You get the drift. Okay. And then on Point of No Return, Textbook again. Textbook. Every band should be like those damn Crows. Right. So then Who Did It? 48. Set in Stone, 25. Sin on Skin, the best song. 57 seconds. Pushing it a little bit there, but probably worth it. Probably worth it. BU is 44 seconds. Now Never Win. Now Never Win is a bit of a different song. And the chorus came in at 131. So you would have failed that. However, it's a ballad, so it's all right. It's all right. Oh, it's all right. But that you still got away with it, right? Because no one is going to switch that anyway. So the Reaper, 39. Kingdom of Dust, 47, going down 33. Textbook, okay? And the point is, you are well into your second verse by 1 minute 30. So if you're in that Kerrang radio meeting, people are going to be loving that, and they're going to be putting their hands all over you and your CD, and then you'll be straight in that meeting.
Hey! Look at that sunset, everybody.
They're only up the mountain.
That.
Beautiful, eh?
Oh, wow.
Max won't be long now. He's he's always late, isn't he? But he's just parking the car.
I love that.
He's just parking the car, and then he'll be on. All right. I think he's just coming just behind me now. Oh, hang on.
There he is. All right.
My God, look at that.
Smile and wave. My fact.
Go. Now he's not here.
No.
But he sent us in a little video. Shall we have a little look?
Okay, here we go. Did you know that The Rock's beard in Hercules was actually made from testicle hair?
Just fucking a matter with him, man.
Motherfucker.
When we were in Ireland, I did some of the run, did about 30 miles of the run with him. And then we got to the boat, and it was the same boat we used to go across the Atlantic. So we got to the boat in Arklow, and I just realised I lost my passport. I was like, oh, shit, I need to get, how am I going to get into Wales, man? I'm rowing, and I can't get into Wales. And somebody said, oh, you can use your driver's licence. So my mate, Aid, who manages a shop in Cardiff, I said, oh, you can get my driver's licence from the house, man. My parents got it. So he brought it to Aberystwyth ready for when I docked, so we could let me in, and then he'd give me a lift home then. So we were rowing across RSC, perfect conditions. I thought, obviously it's not 7 weeks, so we just turned the music up. We had Slayer blasting in the middle of Ireland. We were rowing. Some guy bought us a bottle of whiskey, so we were having a tot of whiskey rowing across the Irish Sea. And we got in about 3:30 in the morning. And I thought, and it was nobody there in the port. So I just walked straight into Wales, no passport, no nothing. So as far as on the computer, on the government's computer, I'm still in Ireland. So the next, and I've applied for a new passport because I lost the other one. So I'm dreading to think what's going to happen when I go to when I try to fly or catch a ferry next. And they said, well, you're still in Ireland, do you? I said, well, no, I rode back home. Did you?
So,
go on then, but
castle themed, right? This is castle themed. Might as well stay with it. But I did notice the last cat themed one I did went down well, so I've combined the two. So, how did he do that? Are you asking? Well, I'll tell you.
No, we don't.
No one is.
Literally,
no one gives a shit. Get him off. Get him off.
Ooh, tell us a joke we know.
Oh, bloody hell.
I have to read this one because it's quite long, right? So
yeah, if you put your postcode on the wall.
As she comes now, right? Cats were used in the sieging of castles, right? So what the attackers would do, they'd light little cat backpacks filled with kindling and send the cats into the castle where they take refuge because they were like, "Fuck, I'm on fire." And they usually go into a barn or a little place, and they subsequently, or no, they'd end up setting the castle on alight, burning down parts of the castle.
So what by doing that, would the cats die as well?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Maybe I like.
See? Ah.
You fucking leave me out of this.
So if you look up, yeah.
It looks like they got rockets on their back.
Yeah, that's
Leave me
what?
alone.
Shane, you're correct, because if you search cat rockets, that's what comes up.
Oh no!
Oh bloody hell!
No, I love cats, so I wouldn't want any harm to come to cats. Poor little thing.
That's our new backdrop.
Yeah, yeah.
Dave, you should get that made as wallpaper for yourself.
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, like a duvet cover or something.
Oh, good God.
But yeah, I mean, apparently that was something they used to do. I mean, that's
Here we are.
Before the RSPCA was established, I suspect. But yeah. So,
oh, that's brilliant.
You'll all be pleased to know no cat was hurt in the making of this feature.
Not ordinary, but the one moment I always think about with Little Angels, and it weirdly, because I could say, oh, yeah, selling out the Royal Albert Hall, selling out Hammersmith, it was amazing, getting a #1 record. Those things are extraordinary. Of course they are there, but they're kind of, in many ways, they become part of the story because the story itself is so important, if you know what I mean. It's so, but what I remember more than anything else is we opened for Guns N' Roses the first time they ever came to the UK at the Marquee Club in Wardour Street, and we went down in our green van. I'd heard one song by them. They'd released "It's So Easy," and my mate who ran a record store said to me, I'd gone in to see him, and I said, "Oh, you got anything by Guns N' Roses?" We'd had a call because the guy that used to run the Marquee, a guy called Bush Telfer, who's an amazing bloke, legend, loved our band, and he just used to put us on at the Marquee Club all the time. So we became a resident band in the Marquee, really. And for one summer, really, straddling into two, we played pretty much all the time, open to so many bands. But one of the very first times we played there, he rang us up and said, "There's this band coming in from America, Guns N' Roses. Would you open for them on this coming Sunday? They're doing 2 nights. I think Choir Boys open the Saturday, we open the Sunday." So I went to see my mate, and he played me this track, and I thought it was amazing. I thought, "This is punk rock. It sounds like the Pistols. Love it. This is going to be great." But they weren't anything. They hadn't broken. Nobody knew who the hell they were. So we wandered down to see this, to sort of open for this band. And to cut a long story short, they were the most authentic rock and roll band I've ever come across in my life, ever. They smelt bad. Their gear was fucked. They were fighting with each other. The sound check was louder than I've ever heard anything in my entire life. Slash was stood up against 4 Marshall cabinets, like one on top of each other, on full, everything on full, with his ear against it, saying to the sound guy, I mean, this place only held 500 people, with his ear up against his Marshalls, going, "I can't hear it, man. Can you turn it up, man?" I was like, "You can't hear that? Are you joking?" It was, so we didn't know what the hell to expect. And they played we played our gig, we went down well, and I went out into the audience, and I'll never forget this the rest of my life. And it changed Little Angels. It changed my attitude towards music. They played a set of songs I'd never heard in my life to a rapt audience that you could have heard in between, apart from the cheering and the screaming for them. After they finished, when they stopped all the screaming and the cheering, you could have heard a pin drop.
Yeah,
because the audience was so enwrapped by Axl and the band and what he had to say, and no one had ever heard those songs. They played 45 minutes or 50 minutes. They played something like 9 songs, 2 of which were covers. The rest were off Appetite for Destruction. And by the end of each song, I thought I knew that song all my life.
Wow.
It was a lesson of utter understanding that songs are all that matters. Because I didn't give a shit that he was wearing a fur coat on stage. I thought he looked like a prat, frankly, and especially under them lights. But you know, but the reality was, I was singing Paradise City. I was singing Sweet Child of Mine, second chorus in.
Wow.
Right? I never heard them before in my life. And I spoke to Axel. I mean, I had a conversation with Axel after the gig. I knocked on the door really gingerly as this little kid. I was like wide-eyed, you know. And he came to the door and he opened it and goes, "What do you want, man?" And I goes, "Oh, God, I just wanted to say how amazing the show was. Let's go to the bar." So he drags me to the bar and we sat just talking 15, 20 minutes. And I just said to him, "How did you get that good? I mean, I've never seen anything like this. You know, this is just the most incredible thing I've ever seen." He goes, and he just said to me, he says, "It's all about rehearsals." He said, "We rehearsed our arses off." He said, "We did not leave our rehearsal room until we knew we had that album in place, until we had those songs, until we knew we were good enough." We said we rehearsed 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. We lived in a roller door, like it was a roller door. I think he said it was like a lockup. And they built bunks out of waste timber and ate off barbecue, like portable barbecues. But all they did was rehearse every day, all day. And you could have heard a pin drop in our van when we drove back to Scarborough that night. I mean, we changed. We went from rehearsing twice a week to rehearsing 6 days a week, 8 hours a day.
It's a good laugh, and I think, you know, we're very fortunate as a bunch of individuals that we do get on, as I said earlier on. So we you know, we do spend all our time laughing. We're just trying to make each other laugh more and more and more. I mean, we've got some things that we're planning to do, and we're having these Zoom meetings. I mean, if only I could record them, and well, I do record them. If only I could play them to people. I just think it would be hilarious. I don't think anybody would buy our records again, but I think they would laugh.
Say it.
Donkeys claim more lives per year than plane crashes.
Somebody said on the plane.
No, it's not. But that's brilliant.
Joey, the singer of Anthrax, would go out. He would be like, "I'm going to get you guys a bunch of weed tonight," you know? And he would go out and be like, "Where's those? Let me see those fucking joints." He's like, "Throw some on stage, throw some on stage." And like, he'd come out and like, he'd be like, "Big score tonight, guys, big score." And he'd have like a handful, like a couple buds and like a couple joints. And then I read a review. It was a big review. It was like Metal and Jazz, whatever, whoever it was. But they were like, Crowbot came out and they were good. Anthrax came out and completely, you know, killed it. They were awesome. But for some reason, Joey Belladonna kept talking about smoking weed and trying to get everyone to throw weed on the stage. And I was like, that's because of us.
And I'd written a song, me and Guy Bailey had written a song called Baby Just Walk, Ode to You. And it was going to be an argument. And I'd met Kathy, the girl who sang, you know, "War Children, just a shot away," on Tumblr Dice. You know, Exile on Main Street. And I says, "I'm going to see the doctor tomorrow." I said, "I've got a really bad throat." Oh, you know, I'm seeing the doctor. And she said, "Do you know what the best thing is for your throat?" I said, "Oh," I'm thinking that she's going to give me this brilliant cue and show. "Do you know what the best thing is for your throat? Have a massive line of cocaine, a large Jack Daniels, and don't fucking worry about it." So I've lived my life on that, lads.
The Babes, I mean, the story of the Babes is heartbreaking because they came at just the time of when the teenager was arriving, you know, disposable income, rock and roll, and the way they looked and their hair and their V. And so the country, especially Britain, really got behind these kids really playing beautiful football, and then to die in a plane crash. Oh, you know, it's heartbreaking. Do you know what I mean? And you don't realize it because we're all aware of the Munich air disaster, but it's something in the past. But when I was able to sort of like really look into it, how much the country loved these young boys and the way they played and the spirit in which they played, and then the footage, they were all smiling and they'd score a goal and one of them would kick it off and they were mates. And you just think, wow, you know, Duncan Edwards, you know, was arguably going to be the greatest English player ever. Bobby Charlton was on the plane and all those things. And you go, you understand there, you know. And then Busby survives it, and is in a has an horrendous sort of physical sort of smash in the plane, comes back and builds another team that has Georgie Best in it and wins the European Cup 10 years later. I mean, if you wrote that in a script, people would go, "Oh, you're pushing it a bit, pal." That he wins the European Cup 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Yeah. But he did that. Extraordinary man, really, to come back, and the moral courage he must have had to build that back up again. And then you start seeing, instead of like people sometimes dismissing the Manchester Uniteds and the Liverpools and these clubs and going, "Oh, Man United." Well, there's a reason why Man United are supported the way they are and loved the way they are. And this goes back to these things that happen and these stories and the way this man came back and then the way he tried to play football and the way he won a European Cup again. That's the reason why they're one of the biggest football clubs, if not the biggest football club in the world. Same with Liverpool. There's a reason why people support Liverpool all over the world, because, the Kop and Shankly and the way they played in the European Cups, it just means that people are attracted to that. That's just the way it is, and that's what the film, I tried to do in the film, really, is try to say, well, there's a reason why these football clubs are what they are. It's because of these men and the personalities they left in the clubs.
Yeah.
In a weird though, like ghosts, you don't see a caveman ghost, though, do you? You don't see one going, booga with a fucking club, like ghosts didn't start till about 1840, wasn't it?
That's a good point.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Well, you don't see a skateboarding kid fucking ghost from 1990 who died jumping down some stairs on his skateboard. Going, "Hey dude, yeah, cowabunga dude."
That's a good point. That's a great point. Gone from £50 playing the barfly, and yes, we're getting paid, and drunk it away in about an hour, and then the next thing you're in the Brits, and you're collecting awards, and you're headlining major festivals, and everything was it was all about you guys. Do you know what I mean? It was just like bang, you were everywhere. Literally, it was unbelievable.
Remember Dave Grohl? Dave Grohl was doing an interview. He was like, "It's all about the darkness, man." It's like even Dave Grohl was saying, like, you guys were massive.
He's lovely.
Massive.
I remember actually last week I was in the cinema with my eldest daughter, and we were watching Black Widow. Is it?
Yeah.
Marvel stuff, and she's like, "Oh, she's brilliant. What's her name? Scarlett." I was like, "Scarlett Johansson." Yeah, I kissed her. Yeah. She was like, "What?" She was like, she wouldn't have even let you anywhere near her. It's like, no, it's true. It actually happened.
Right.
What size are you, Dave?
It's a bit personal, isn't it? About 7.5 inches.
You brought up the heels.
Oh, the heels. Right.
Unbelievable, Jeff.
Moving on.
I like Southern Comfort and all that as well, so it's not really
Janis Joplin's drink.
Janis Joplin's it? All right.
That was her drink, Southern Comfort.
Janis Joplin, incredible Janis Joplin.
Mm. Apparently, she used to smell of. She used to smell of Southern Comfort.
Oh, did she? Right, I thought you were going to say someone else then.
I heard that she smelled very badly.
Right.
Wow. And that certain people used to lock her in lock guitarists into rooms, and she'd have her wicked ways with them, and she used to smell really bad. But that's I just heard that. Maybe it was Benny Hill that told me. I know all the stores.
Right, okay. So we're all given a little spark of madness. You mustn't lose it. Dave, that's especially for you, my friend.
Look after each other, and we'll see you at a gig so soon. See you then.
Who said